When hinges creaks in doorless chambers, whenever the air is deadly still, welcome, foolish mortal, to Darkest Star ASMR and Entertainment. Hi guys, this is the Duke, and welcome to Darkest Star ASMR and Entertainment. Now, if you follow me on social media, you might have known that I have a cold. I'm getting better, but as you can hear, my voice is all more bass than ever, and I really don't feel too hot still. So, but I thought, hey man, let's do a little video for you guys, my Wednesday video at least, but I am trying to keep it short. So, in today's video, we are in my video store. And for today's video, I'm going to speak about some of my favorite fantasy movies. And I am trying to pick some of the films that you might not know about or might not have seen. Some of these I'm sure you have seen. There's also two wild cards, or two ones that I don't have on physical media that I'm going to name drop. But anyway, let's get this one started. And the first one I want to show you is from Umberto Lenzi, the guy who gave us Nightmare City and Cannibal Ferox, also Eaten Alive by the way. And this is the Iron Master, La Guerra del Ferro. It's an Italian Conan, not rip-off, because this more or less takes place in the Stone Age and kind of this tribe that discovers iron, and there's a fight over the iron, and it stars, let me see here, Elvire Audrey, George Eastman of the Anthropophagus fame, Pamela Prati, Danilo Mattei, and yeah, it's directed by Umberto Lenzi, and it was made in, I think, 1983. I'm sorry. My nose is itching. So that's the first one I can recommend. The second one, it's a real classic, and it's Clash of the Titans. Now this is not, and I want to say, this is not the remake, because that one pretty much sucked. This is the original one from 1981 with amazing special effects by Ray Harryhausen, who worked with stop motion. I don't know if you can see, I think it might show some of the special effects. Anyway, I love this one. It's a Greek mythology fantasy movie, and it stars Harry Hamlin, Judy Bowker, Burgess Meredith, if you know Rocky, Mikey, Maggie Smith, Ursula Andress, and Claire Bloom. It was directed by Desmond Harris, and it has a lot of awesome practical stop motion special effects. Highly recommend this one. Next up we have one that's not that unknown, but it's Conan the Destroyer with our own Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this is the second Conan movie. There's a first one, which is of course Conan the Barbarian, which came out in 1981, I think. I think this came out in 1984, and it stars Sarah Douglas, of course Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the reason I chose Conan the Destroyer over the first one is that I think this one is more entertaining. It doesn't drag as much. The action is instant. You don't have to, follow Conan when he's a kid. It also has some awesome special effects by Carlo Rambaldi, the guy who made E.T., among other things. Awesome music score by Basil Philodorus, something. Oh my god, sorry. But I'd say if you want a instant kick, Conan the Destroyer is the one to watch. The first one is awesome also, but I think that one has more of a rewatch value. And then we have, I said in the beginning that I want to focus on movies that you might not have seen or might not have heard of or otherwise just skipped. So therefore you won't see Lord of the Rings, which is one of my favorite trilogy fantasy movies, the Peter Jackson ones. You won't see The Hobbit, which is not in my favorite, but you know what I'm getting at. So instead I'm showing you Lord of the Ring by Ralph Bakshi. This is the hand-drawn animated movie from, I think it's from let me see here if it says something, 1978. And unfortunately there were going to be a sequel to this one, so this one pretty much ends when they enter, I think it's Moria. No, it's not. It's when they enter Shelob's lair, I think, or something like that. It was a while since I watched it, but I love this one. It has a great atmosphere, great soundtrack, great voice acting, and a really good animated movie. No, there wasn't many pictures inside, but there were some at least. So yeah, if you love Lord of the Rings and Tolkien, watch this one. Next up we have one that's a little bit of a, I don't know, mixed bag maybe. But it's a fantasy movie and it's Disney and it's the weird Return to Oz, starring Faritza Balk from The Craft as a young Dorothy who is sent to a mental hospital and is just about to undergo electroshock therapy when she's saved by a thunderstorm and wished back to Oz. Now this movie is really weird because it's so dark and has a lot of, creepy creatures in it, like the Wheelers. If you have seen it, you know what I mean, pure nightmare fuel. It also has weird stop animation. It's just a weird and wonderful movie. So yeah, who else does it star? Except for Isabel, it stars Piper Laurie, actually. It was directed by Walter Murch. Never heard of the guy, actually. If he's very popular, I'm sorry. But this one is a must for fans of the weird fantasy spectre. Now I'm going to name drop two movies that I really love, but I don't have them on social media, Jesus, physical media. The first one is Labyrinth with Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie, of course. Excellent, wonderful movie. I think it's dragged down a little bit because, I don't know, it feels a little bit too unserious. David Bowie looks awesome, but he doesn't make for a good villain. It feels like Jennifer Connelly's character is never in real danger, I think. And the second one I want to talk about is George Lucas' Willow with Warwick Davis and Val Kilmer is in it, and Joanna Valley Kilmer, I think her name is down the wife. It's an awesome fantasy movie which unfortunately wasn't very liked when it came out. I don't know why. Maybe they expected George Lucas, Star Wars. It's a great fantasy movie that I love and I highly recommend. Now we are in the top 3 of my 5 favorite fantasy movies of all time, and these are actually, I love these more than Lord of the Rings or any newer iteration of fantasy. Now on the 3rd place we have The Never Ending Story, based by the book of Michael Ende. I think this was a German-American co-production directed by Wolfgang Peterson, and it stars Noah Hathaway, Barrett Oliver, Tammy Stronas, Moses Gunn. Yeah, so this one is amazing. It has all the right fantasy elements and an awesome score by Limal, The Never-Ending Story. Sorry if I butchered his name. I wonder what happened to him, by the way. Yeah, so The Never-Ending Story. This is the Swedish VHS print of it. Highly recommend. Now on the second place we have Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. I love this movie. It's just puppets and it's dark. It's very scary, actually creepy, and it's just an amazing piece of cinema. If you can watch it on a... That's never happened before. My phone flipped over. Sorry about that, guys. See if I can fix that a little quick here. So yeah, The Dark Crystal by Jim Henson. The guy who made the Muppets, if you didn't know, and Labyrinth, I think. Anyway, what's there to say except that Trevor Jones made the music? I'm trying to see if there's some recognizable voice actors, but I can't actually see anything here. Anyway, an awesome fantasy movie. Not for the youngest of children, maybe, but anyway, I'm actually looking in my film library here, because there was one that I was actually going to mention, but I can't seem to find it. I'm going to mention it anyway, and I'm going to mention it now. And that's Neil Jordan's The Company of Wolves, which in itself is maybe a werewolf movie more than anything, but it's also a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and it just have this fantasy element to it that sets it apart from other werewolf movies. So I'd say it's probably 50% fantasy and 50% werewolf movie. But if you have seen The Company of Wolves, then you probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get into the place number one, and there can be only one. No, it's not Highlander. It's Legend by Ridley Scott with Tom Cruise, Mia Sara, and of course, Tim Curry as Darkness himself. It also has, and this is a little bit weird, I have to get into this, because when I saw this in the cinemas in Sweden, there's two versions. One that has a soundtrack by Tangerine Dreams, and I haven't seen that version. I don't think it's on this Blu-ray. There's the European version and the director's cut. I think they're both with. But anyway, well, I digress. What I was going to say is that the version I seen, and this is the one I think, had a soundtrack by the legendary Jerry Goldsmith, and it's one of my all-time favorite soundtracks. It's so wonderfully beautiful. And I've heard the Tangerine Dream one. It's not bad, but I think Goldsmith's soundtrack elevates the movie to beyond. It's so full of heart. I'm talking about the movie now. And it's so much awesome makeup effects, and it's like a dream, a fever dream that you don't want to wake up from. Everything about this movie is perfect in my book. So this is Legend, and it's I'm going to recommend this Blu-ray particular because it has the director's cut, which is 113 minutes. Yeah, exactly. And it also, I think it has the original cut, which is kind of 95. And I highly recommend watching the director's cut, because there's so much that you miss otherwise. Oh, shit. Sorry. Anyway, that was some of my favorite fantasy movies of all time. I'm planning a new roleplay video, a ghostly one, which will be up hopefully this Friday as soon as I get well enough to sit in front of the camera in the light. Because that's one of the biggest problems when you make like role plays, because you have to have a pretty hot light on and then you have to edit it for a long time. But anyway, hope you like this video. If you I'm sounding like I know I still have snot, so I'm starting to. If you have watched the guy called Dreamcast guy, he makes reviews, and I don't know, he sounds like he's always stuffed in his nose. So he's going to every video he starts, he's saying hello gamers, but because of that it sounds like he says hello gay bears. I'm starting to sound like him. Anyway, hope you like this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button and the notifications. Sorry, I also got a new smoking jacket. By the way, okay, love you guys. There can't be any light without darkness, and I will see you in the next video. Good night. Come to me, don't be afraid. You will do as I say.